Guys, I was diagnosed with severe lack of empathy. But I don't really care. Alright, so enough of the terrible jokes that make you want to die. Welcome back to another video, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. So because of that really bad joke, you can kind of guess what we're talking about. We're talking about lack of empathy, people. Alright, lack of empathy. Now, I was talking to one of my good friends last night, and I'm just like, you know, man, I don't really know what to record tomorrow. He's like, well, why don't you do a video on the lack of empathy? Because I see it, and I sure hope you do too. And I'm like, well, frick, that's a good idea. So guys, in today's society, I have noticed, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too, that there is such a lack of empathy, especially with the younger ages. Now, what does this mean? We kind of stop caring. We don't feel sorry for anything. We just like brush it off. Yeah, whatever. Okay, there's children dying in Africa. Cool, big deal. Some dude got hit by a bus the other day. Is the bus okay? Your grandma dies of cancer. Ooh, I hope I'm in her will. Enough of the bad jokes. But seriously, we do really have a lack of empathy, and I've noticed it. But seriously, we do really have a lack of empathy. Now, I don't know why this is, and I don't know what led to this, but I'm just going to talk about my opinion on it. I think maybe part of the reason why we all kind of stop caring is because we're so self-centered these days. Everything has to be about us and whether we're doing what's good for us, which is a good thing. You need to be doing what's good for you, but that doesn't mean you just completely disregard everything else around you and you stop caring. You don't really feel anything towards negative situations, I suppose. Guys, I'm like this too. Don't get me wrong, because I totally see it. Like, yeah, there's children dying in Africa, and I don't really feel anything towards that. And I don't know if it's because we've been told over and over again that that's happening, that we're so used to it in our brain, and we're just like, big deal. I've heard this a million times before. How am I supposed to be sad about it on the millionth time? And you know, maybe the reason why we got so non-empathetic, I guess, is because of all that negativity that I talked about. All this negativity, we're so surrounded by it, we're so used to it, that that's exactly it. We just get used to it. So now we just kind of brush everything off. Now, is this a really bad thing to be so non-empathetic? I don't know, because it's like, we shouldn't let everything bother us. We shouldn't let everything burden us, because then we're just going to be dragged down further and further and further again. But I think brushing off things like they don't matter and doesn't really exist to us, that's not always a good thing either. I think we need to be aware of our surroundings and aware of the situations that's going on to still show that we care, even if we can't understand what other people are feeling. As an example, say your friend's grandma passed away and they're going through a hard time with it. You might not feel anything towards that situation because you didn't really know their grandma and it doesn't bother you that they passed away. It doesn't actually really affect you. However, if your friend is going through a hard time with it, don't act like you don't care. Don't fake your emotions either, but don't brush it off and say you don't give a shit, it doesn't matter to you. Try to be there for that person, maybe saying like, I don't know what you're going through, I don't understand how you're feeling, but I'm here for you as a friend. The last thing you want to do is fake your emotions and be like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, you know, like it just kills me to hear that your grandma passed away. Realistically, you're just BSing them and you don't actually care. So I don't know if the lack of empathy is necessarily bad, but I think the way we handle it can be pretty bad. Because people tend to get really butthurt these days super easily. It's like you can't make a joke anymore without half the population being offended towards it. So I guess the best advice that I can give for this lack of empathy and the lack of care and whatnot is, yes, you may not feel hurt or sorry about what's happening, but you can still be there for people close to you that might need your help, or might need a friend to just listen to and talk to. Because you don't really control, I don't know how to explain this. I want to say you don't really control your emotions, and that's kind of true, kind of not true. Going back to the example of your friend's grandma passing away, you don't control what you feel about that, you just feel it. Like, it's just how you feel. You can't all of a sudden tell yourself, I'm going to be sorry, and then actually really, genuinely feel sorry for them. And like I said, faking your emotions is just not going to work, it's not going to be helpful, and it's really not good. I think this is a hard topic to talk about because it's like, how do we fix this? And is it even worth fixing? Like, it's really hard to explain because I think on one side of the scale, yeah, it's bad that we stopped caring, but on the other side of the scale, we should be caring more for ourselves and making ourselves better and worrying about us rather than bringing us down to the level that other people are on. This is freaking hard to explain, alright? I just said I was going to talk about empathy today, and I don't write scripts for this, I just talk. In summary, I think faking our emotions is bad, but I also think being there for someone when they're going through a hard time, even if you don't feel something towards that situation, you're not sad, you're not sorry about what happened. Maybe you'd be sorry about what happened, but you don't feel sorry. I think we should start caring in that sense more. So maybe being there for your friends more when they are going through something hard, rather than brushing it off. Because it never hurts to help other people. You can always be there as a friend for someone even if you don't know what they're feeling and you don't know what they're going through. It doesn't cost anything to help them, just be a friend. That's all they need. People, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed this one. Like I said, I don't write scripts for these, I kind of just talk, and that's kind of the way I like to keep it. This is just my mind thinking, you know, just coming out of the top of my head and what my opinions are, rather than finding a bunch of stuff on the internet and just blasting it out to you guys. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like down below and a comment saying what I should record next. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. And remember guys, keep it classy.